Today we're going to talk about the not so pretty situation in which people are told that they are buying the game, but in reality they're not. They're buying either a license for an ebook or a game, and it's becoming a problem because not so many people are aware of this situation. So in today's video we're going to break this down into what is happening and how you're actually owning a game, if you're owning a game or an ebook. So I've seen that a lot of creators lately have been talking about this situation, specific after the incident with the George Orwell's book being removed from the entire Kindle app and the entire Amazon, and people paid for it for more than 20 years, or how old is that book, for them to not have the content that they paid for without an email, without anything, and without even a reimbursement. A friend pointed to me this situation by sending me a YouTube video about the George Orwell's book being removed from Amazon, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Did they do something? Especially if you're pirating the specific content that you want to read, Amazon is going to remove all of the content and even get your Kindle banned from using with any Amazon account. So that Kindle would be basically useless. But the thing that happened here wasn't the case of certain people being banned or certain people having like illegal books. And of course, I'm using this only for legal reasons. But in this situation, Amazon got expired the license for George Orwell's book, and so there was removed from other people's account. Buying specifically a product online is just misleading because some companies or publishing houses for ebooks, they're not really disclaiming that you're owning a license, which is a virtual license or a virtual part of the game. Because if it's a game bought from a marketplace, from the PlayStation Store, for the Xbox Game Pass, or for something like that, you're actually owning just a tiny part of the game, and then you're needing to use your internet in order to download the specific game that you want to play. And you're saying, okay, so I understand I should not be paying for the Black Friday sales or something. I should be getting only the physical copy or the CD or the cartridge for the Nintendo Switch or something like that. But see, that's the case. If you're going to buy the CD for the Xbox and PlayStation, or even if you're having, I don't know, one super old laptop or PC that still has a CD reader, and you're going to buy CDs for, I don't know, playing The Sims 2, which, by the way, it released The Sims 2 Legacy on Steam, and it's a great release, and I'm super happy for it. But back on track, if you're going to pay for a CD, basically owning the CD, and you're not owning actually the content on it. Because even though you're owning the physical copy, you still need to connect furthermore after, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of gameplay to download the rest of the content from the internet. Our problem nowadays is with companies not disclaiming, just like Steam did recently, that you're buying a license of the game and not the game itself. Or in any cases, not the ebook itself, because I'm pretty sure on Amazon it doesn't say it yet. I understood that in the USA, in California, there has been a bill for all the California gaming companies that are based in California going to be obliged to disclaim that when you're buying a game copy at a GameStop or other stores, you're going to actually own a license and not the game itself, which is pretty useful. But why is it only in one state though? And now you're thinking that, okay, it's not a problem, I'm going to download everything just like we are using with right now with the ROMs for emulators, or other people are like setting up their emulators. But this is not the case, because we cannot have, in like 20-30 years from now, we cannot really have the games that we used to play. For example, I always wanted to have a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance, but when I was younger in my country it wasn't popular. So I wasn't really caught up on the specific games that appeared on a Game Boy Color or Advance. And thanks for emulators right now, is it doable? But unfortunately, The gaming industry, especially, and also for the publishing houses with ebooks, all the content online and digitally is basically at risk of being either stolen or erased or either removed for the licensing problems or for the copyright problems, and you're just going to lose everything even though you spend so many hours in a game and it's becoming your favorite, or you've been rereading the same book over and over again, and we cannot do anything to stop it. We cannot do anything basically to have the specific content that we would love for, like, I don't know, keep it as a physical or keep it on a hard drive that is like external for your PC. You cannot really do it with anything, like just like we are doing with the ROMs, right? So I wanted to kind of point out that this problem is still ongoing. So if you're having a specific video game or a book that you're really loving, you should consider buying them physical, even though you're going to spend more money on the, I don't know, Nintendo Switch cartridge or the CD for the Xbox and PlayStation, or even for the book, even though it's hardcover or it's physical or not. I know for the Kindle girlies, they want trophies and they're also going to have some of the books in their bookshelves, so that's not a problem. But it's like, I feel like gaming industry is at risk with the games being removed for certain reasons, and like there are a lot of cool games that we cannot play anymore, or adult people younger than us, they cannot really try it because you cannot find them anymore. They're just banned, they're just erased from the existence, you cannot do anything about it. But for example, I mentioned before about Nintendo cartridges, and the only fact that I'm really going to play more on my Switch, and also with the Switch 2 when it's going to be released and I'm going to have my hands on it, is just for the fact that you can really have the entire content on it. I bought recently Breath of the Wild because I used to have a Switch back in the day, but it was the Switch Lite and it was the first version of the Switch, so now I'm having the Splatoon edition, which I truly love. But with me getting back into Breath of the Wild, I figured that I shouldn't buy the digital copy of it and I should have the cartridge, because even though I would want to play it on Switch 2 if it's going to work or not, and I'm going to play it on this, I don't want to use the content and the joy and the amazing game that I'm having because I fell in love again with it. I did an experiment with Breath of the Wild and I immediately went into the game and I'm playing for like 2 or 3 days right now without even going on to download the content or anything. For sure, you're just downloading some optimized settings for the Switch because it's a single player game, so you don't have anything to have downloaded, or you're just downloading DLCs that you might have bought or something like that. But in reality, you don't really need an internet connection or to play the games on the cartridges on Nintendo Switch. You don't need internet at all. So for Sony and Microsoft case, in which you're going to buy a CD for either one of the Xbox and PlayStation consoles, when it's going to be removed, that specific game, and also having the CD, and you're going to go into the internet and be online and play the game, Sony and Microsoft will tell you that the game has been removed and you cannot play it anymore, even though you're owning a physical copy, which sucks. You cannot really anticipate the moment when that specific game is not going to be playable anymore for you, so that you would have a backup or something like that in order to play, and probably you wouldn't be able to find anywhere, let's say some other sites, because guess what, it's not going to be there anymore. Like, it's going to be erased from the existence. Just wanted to make the video in order to talk to you guys, for you to, like, I don't know, bring awareness to this situation, even though you knew about it or not. I'm trying to like be informative with the people that didn't know and try to explain as better as I could this situation. But yeah, just make sure that you're buying physical copies. If you love your Switch, buy more cartridges instead of, even though the deal is like super good, and even though, just save up for the cartridge. Save up for the cartridge, buy the physical, try to preserve your physical stuff more than anything, because we live in strange times where gaming industry is not the same as it used to be, And we are like losing games every now and then, or even every day, which is a problem and it's just disappointing. And also, it's so bad for all the gems that we are having, especially for the indie developers that are just posting their games and we're having these gems. It's just a pity for them to be removed forever and us not be able to play them or just relive the memory, you know? So, yeah, I hope I just brought some light at the end of the tunnel. And in the end, I hope that you're going to focus more on the physical copies if you truly love a game and want to preserve it. And until then, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video for more. See you every Thursday, and until then, I'm going to see you on Instagram with more updates and more stuff to talk about, and even some content updates too. So stay tuned there and see you then. Bye bye.